Hello everybody, welcome to my video where today we're going to be going over all the Scream 7 news we have so far, the plot details we have so far, and just kind of going over all the rumors, all the theories, and my theories, and putting them all together and trying to figure out the plot of Scream 7. So anyways, let's get right into it. With first off, everything we know so far, and this is the confirmed information. The film is going to have a tribute to Wes Craven and Ron Lynch, which Ron Lynch was a producer of Scream 5 and 6, and he passed away in cancer in December of 2023. And then Wes Craven obviously was involved with the original Scream movies. And David Arquette will return as Deputy Dewey for Scream 7. That is pretty new information. It came out yesterday, I think. Tribute to Wes Craven and Ron Lynch, which Ron Lynch was a producer of Scream 5 and 6, and he passed away in cancer in December of 2023. And then Wes Craven obviously was involved with the original Scream movies. And David Arquette will return as Deputy Dewey for Scream 7. That is pretty new information. It came out yesterday, I think. The movie is going to focus on Sidney Prescott's storyline. She moved on with her life running a coffee shop, but her past comes back to haunt her. Also, Neve Campbell will return as Sidney Prescott, of course, and of course you have Courtney Cox returning as Gail Weathers. That's been confirmed for a while, so I should probably go ahead and mention that. The plot elements. Now this, I think, it has been talked about so much, and basically has been confirmed by Matthew Lillard. He talked about it in an interview I was looking at, about AI and deepfake technology will play a major role with killers using it to create fake versions of past Ghostface killers. Now, this has been a rumor and a theory with the Scream 7 movie, but Matthew Lillard recently talked about it in an interview, and he basically confirmed it. Didn't really deny it, didn't really confirm it, but technically said that it's not lying, so that's why I put it in the confirmed information. Scott Foley, who played Roman Bridger in Scream 3, who is Sidney's half-brother, he will return in Scream 7. This confirms filming location. Set photos confirm that the movie takes place in Pine Grove, Indiana. And these are the confirmed cast members. These aren't the actors or actresses. These are the confirmed cast, so the characters. We have Sidney Prescott, we have Gail Weathers, we have Chad Minks, we have Mindy Minks, we have Mark Evans, who is Sidney's husband, Robbie Rivers, who is a news reporter, we have Kyle, which supposedly is a mental patient. We have Jessica, who is Sidney's best friend, Tatum Evans, Sidney's daughter, who is obviously named after Sidney's old best friend in the first movie, who tragically died. And then we have Chloe, who is the heartbreaker of the group. We have Ben, who is Tatum's boyfriend, and we have Hannah, which is the queen bee of the group. We also have Lucas, who is Jessica's son. And of course, we have Stu and Roman returning. Now, I just noticed that some of these characters, like Kyle, I don't think was confirmed. So I probably got it a little bit mixed up, but this information is mostly confirmed, and I will mention if it's not confirmed. I think only Tatum, Mark, Stu, Roman, Sidney, Gail, Chad, Mindy, I think I said Mark. I think only those ones are confirmed. I think all the other ones are not confirmed. Now we have a filming timeline. The set photos confirmed that the movie takes place in fall, especially November. The film, you can see leaves around and pumpkins, some of the set photos, so that confirms. Now, Kevin Williamson, the original Scream writer from the first movie, is directing it, which I'm really excited to see his artwork and how he's returning. I think it was the guy who plays Chad Minks was saying that he basically cries on set almost every day. Now Mindy, he was talking that Mindy Minx is his favorite character, which I'll go into more to in the later videos, because I don't know if she's gonna die or not, if it's his favorite character. But anyways, Nev Campbell is also an executive producer in this film. And also, apparently, Scream 7 will release in theaters February 27th, 2026. So it is fall. No, it's actually winter. I don't know why I said fall. February, I always think it's fall. I mean, yeah. So I don't. The movie is going to focus on Sidney Prescott's storyline. She moved on with her life, running a coffee shop, but her past comes back to haunt her. Also, Nev Campbell will return as Sidney Prescott, of course, and of course you have Courtney Cox returning as Gail Weathers. That's been confirmed for a while, so I should probably go ahead and mention that. The plot elements. Now this, I think, it has been talked about so much, and basically has been confirmed by Matthew Lillard. He talked about it in an interview I was looking at. About AI and deepfake technology will play a major role with killers using it to create fake versions of past Ghostface killers. Now, this has been a rumor and a theory with the Scream 7 movie, but Matthew Lillard recently talked about it in an interview, and he basically confirmed it. Didn't really deny it, didn't really confirm it, but technically said that it's not lying, so that's why I put it in the confirmed information. Scott Foley, who played Roman Bridger in Scream 3, who is Sidney's half-brother, he will return in Scream 7. This confirmed filming location. Set photos confirm that the movie takes place in Pine Grove, Indiana. And these are the confirmed cast members. These aren't the actors or actresses. These are the confirmed cast, so the characters. We have Sidney Prescott, we have Gail Weathers, we have Chad Minks, we have Mindy Minks, we have Mark Evans, who is Sidney's husband, Robbie Rivers, who is a news reporter, we have Kyle, which supposedly is a mental patient. We have Jessica, who is Sidney's best friend, Tatum Evans, Sidney's daughter, who is obviously named after Sidney's old best friend in the first movie, who tragically died. And then we have Chloe, who is the heartbreaker of the group. We have Ben, who is Tatum's boyfriend, and we have Hannah, which is the queen bee of the group. We also have Lucas, who is Jessica's son. And of course, we have Stu and Roman returning. Now, I just noticed that some of these characters, like Kyle, I don't think was confirmed. So I probably got it a little bit mixed up, but this information is mostly confirmed, and I will mention if it's not confirmed. I think only Tatum, Mark, Stu, Roman, Sidney, Gail, Chad, Mindy, I think I said Mark. I think only those ones are confirmed. I think all the other ones are not confirmed. Now we have a filming timeline. The set photos confirmed that the movie takes place in fall, especially November. The film, you can see leaves around and pumpkins, some of the set photos, so that confirms. Now, Kevin Williamson, the original Scream writer from the first movie, is directing it, which I'm really excited to see his artwork and how he's returning. I think it was the guy who plays Chad Minks was saying that he basically cries on set almost every day. Now, Mindy, he was talking that Mindy Minks is his favorite character, which I'll go into more to in the later videos, because I don't know if she's going to die or not, if it's his favorite character. But anyways, Nev Campbell is also an executive producer in this film. And also, apparently, Scream 7 will release in theaters February 27th, 2026. So it is fall. No, it's actually winter. I don't know why I said fall. February, I always think it's fall. I mean, yeah. So I don't know why it's fall season. I mean, maybe I don't know why the movie's taking place in fall if it's coming out in February. But anyways, also too, I think all of you guys know that Melissa and Jenna will not be returning for this film, so due to some controversy. Now we're gonna get into rumors slash leaks. Now Emma Roberts returning. She played Joe in Scream 4. There's been some rumors that she may be back. So the Project X experiment, the production company, they just recently followed Emma Roberts on her Instagram. So, yeah, I don't know if that means anything, but there's that. Scream 7 will explore family themes. A rumored flashback could feature Maureen Prescott, Sydney's mother, with her past Ghostface killers, Roman, Billy, and Stu. Now, I think this would be really cool. But anyways, I'm not really going to talk about this information. I'm just going to kind of say it, and I'll expand on it and tell you the confirmed plot and tell you if all this information is real and what that plot would look like. So I'm just going to kind of list everything. Billy Loomis, Skeet, returning. Rumors suggest that he may appear in some form. Sydney and Gail will acknowledge the New York City attacks. But it will not play a big part of the film. Lynn McCree, who played Maureen Prescott, may return. Scream 8 already planned. Stu returning in a significance, not just a cameo, but his role will be major. Brutal kill rumors. Opening kill could feature 2 to 3 victims. One rumored kill involves someone being strangled with their own intestines. A scene with Ghostface attacking between 2 houses, toying with the victims. Sydney could be called the Angel of Death again. A car chase scene involving Sydney. Scream 7 is rumored to feature the darkest, most disturbing Ghostface yet. Aims to match the intensity of Drew... Shut up, Alexa. The intensity of Drew Borman's opening scene from the original movie. Now, about the disturbing and darkest Ghostface, that's actually being kind of confirmed by the actor who played Chad. He confirmed it in an interview that this is going to be basically the most brutal Ghostface we've ever seen. Anyways, Chad's fate. A rumor suggestion that his opening scene involves him being attacked in a dorm, thrown down a stairwell, and hit by a taxi, but apparently he survives. Multiple killers. Scream 7 is rumored to have more than 3 Ghostface killers, which will make sense of they're bringing back Joe, Billy, Roman, and Stu. But the thing about this, I'm just going to go ahead and say this here, because I don't know if I go over it. The thing about this, it couldn't just, trying to find out a way to put it. Like, the main killers, there could only be, 2 maybe. There's only 2 main killers or 3 main killers. Or even just 1 main killer. But they could count Roman and Billy, who may come back, but they're most likely going to be flashbacks. They could count them as Ghostface killers, even though they're not the main ones in the movie. If it opens with a flashback, they could count as that. Anyways, now this is I don't know information. So this is I don't know if it's confirmed or I don't know if it's fake. So Ethan Embry cast in Scream 7. No details on his role. Sarah Mitchell Gellar, unconfirmed but rumored. And these are new cast members. Unconfirmed roles. Now, I already read some of these, but I'm just going to go ahead and reread them because some of them have not been read. Ajad, I don't know how to pronounce that. It's A-S-A, German. Tatum, Sydney's daughter. Ben, Tatum's boyfriend. Chloe, the heartbreaker. Jessica, Sydney's friend and Lucas's mom. Lucas, the creepy Ted Bundy vibe neighbor. Hannah, the rich queen bee. Robbie, the new reporter bugging Gail. Mark, Sydney's husband. Now, this is what I call bonus, not bonus, and kind of bonus information. These are just kind of stuff that hasn't really been significant to me, that I just all kind of crammed. And this is also in the confirmed, the rumored, and I don't know category. Scream 7 will be true to the sequels to Scream 1 through 4. The story will focus on the legacy characters, Sydney, Gail, etc. Sydney's kids will be in the film, but won't be the main focus. The film will not heavily connect to Scream 5 or 6. Nev Campbell confirmed that Scream 7 will go back to its roots and focus on Sidney Prescott. James and Guy, James Van Burlet and Guy Buskick are the official writers and are currently working on a fresh draft. This is old information, I think, and I don't know if this is still a thing. So, um, yeah. Spyglass wants Nev Campbell and Patrick Dempsey was going to return, but will not return anymore. Um, Also, Mickey Madison becomes the first Ghostface actor to win an Oscar, which is awesome. Now, these are rumors slash leaks. Gail Weathers' morning show is canceled. Gail may accidentally cause a Ghostface murder leading to the decline of her career. The film has a 70-30 split between Sidney and Gail, with Gail taking the central role. Motherhood and family will play major themes. Gail's and Sidney's children share a special connection. The film will take place in Seattle. Flashbacks and deepfake technology will be used, possibly bringing back past killer characters. The opening scene will be very personal to Sidney and will bring her back into the conflict. Mark Kincaid, Sidney's husband, may return and find a dead body at home, forcing their kids into hiding. Mark Evans, Sidney's husband, may return and find a dead body at home, forcing their kids into hiding. The film will feature a big time jump, allowing Sidney's kids to play a role. The three new 20-year-old leads might include Sidney's nanny and her friends. Sidney is not very popular in town, and people don't want her around. A Karen-type neighbor hates Sidney for attracting attention. The movie will introduce a stage director and drama students working on a play connected to Scream 4. Ghostface will manipulate Sidney and Gail by bringing back past characters. Rumors suggest Billy might return. This is the first chapter in a planned new trilogy. Stu will FaceTime Sidney, but it is revealed to be fake, and Mark reports to the police. The film may include a Ghostface cult. Artificial intelligence and deepfake technology will play a major role. Now, this is repeated a lot because I see it so much, and this is going to play, I feel like this is actually going to play a really significant role in the plot. More than 2 Ghostface killers are rumored, possibly even more than 3. I already mentioned that, of course, too. A mental patient may escape from a hospital and stalk Sidney, potentially linked to the Ghostface cult. They are scouting locations with lots of woods, similar to Sick in Halloween 2018. Now, this is I don't know. This is the I don't know category. Scream 7 will be scarier than any other Scream movie. Filming may begin. A scene is rumored to be filmed in a bar, snack bar soon, possibly featuring Madison Gooding, who plays Chad Meeks. The film may follow a similar concept to Halloween 2018, which this is actually confirmed. Nev Campbell confirmed this in an interview. Now, this report says Roman Bridger is still dead, but his return will make sense without suspicion of disbelief. Stu's older sister is still alive. She could be the next Ghostface. Judy Greer was rumored to play Sidney's Karen-like neighbor, but she dropped out. Lisa Grossman is now rumored for that role. Anna Camp might be playing Lisa Matcher, Stu's sister. McKenna Grace, who plays Tatum Evans, who is Sydney's daughter, might have the most brutal death in Scream 7. Her character is a lead in a school play, and her murder could take place in the auditorium with heavy gore. Sydney's daughter, Taylor's, which that was a placement name, but it's Tatum now. Sydney's daughter Tatum has a boyfriend. I forgot his name. I'm gonna call him Brian. And two female friends. Sydney is very protective and doesn't allow Tatum to sneak out, but she does anyway, which is kind of like Billy in Scream 1 and Trevor in Scream 4. The film is not a passing of the torch, but instead sets up a new long-term story for Sydney and Gail. Some speculation, some speculate they are reviewing the original Scream 3 script where Stu was alive and controlling a cult from a prison slash psychic hospital, except now it might be Roman or Roman's twin. Scream 7 will not retcon Scream 5 and 6. Those events will remain canon but won't be the main focus. There will be references to Sam and Tara in New York City, but they will not have major involvement. Now that's all the main information. So I'm going to go on to the confirmed plot using the confirmed information. But just note that when I go over to now I'm going to go over to the confirmed plot using the information that we have now that's confirmed. The confirmed plot. The release date hits theaters February 27, 2026. Directed by Kevin Williamson, the original screenwriter. Neve Campbell is an executive producer, set in Pride Ground, Indiana, fall especially. Sidney Prescott and Gail Weathers. Now this is the confirmed cast: Sidney Prescott, Gail Weathers, Chad Minks, Mindy Minks, Mark Evans, Robbie Rivers, Jessica, Tatum Evans, Chloe, Ben, Hannah, Lucas, Stu Macker, Roman Bridger, Deputy Dewey Riley. This is the base of the film. Neve Campbell confirmed that Scream 7 will go back to its roots and focus on Sidney Prescott. Apparently, it will be a lot like Halloween 2018. The story will focus on the legacy characters, Sidney, Gail, etc. The film will not be heavily connected to Scream 5 or 4, but will be a true sequel to Scream 1 through 4. This is the confirmed plot. She's moved on with her life, running a copy shop, but her past comes back to haunt her. AI and defect technology will play a major role, with killers using it to create fake versions of past Ghostface killers. And these kids will be in the film, but won't be the main focus. Now, this is with all the information, the I don't know information, the rumored information. This is with all of it. Well, most of it, I should say. Because some of it I did not mention in here because I found no place to mention it. Scream 7, release date, hits theaters February 27, 2026. That's the same, of course. The locations are going to be in the woods, and it's going to be similar to Sick in Halloween 2018. The confirmed cast, I already went over some of it, so I'm gonna go over all of it again. Sidney, Gail, Chad, Mindy, Mark, Evans, Robbie Rivers, Kyle, Jessica, who is Sidney's best friend and Lucas's mom. Of course, then you have Lucas, who is the Ted Bundy-like neighbor. You have Tatum Evans, who is Sidney's daughter. Chloe, the heartbreaker of the group. Ben, Tatum's boyfriend. Hannah, the queen bee of the group. Lucas, Jessica's son. Stu Macker, Roman Bridger. Dewey Riley, Joe from Scream 4. Actors Victor Turpin and Amy Lucy. Pemberton. They're reportedly playing a male/female cop duo. I did forget to mention that in the thing, which I apologize for that. Billy Loomis, Maureen Prescott, Lisa Macker, Aja German, Lucas, the creepy Ted Bundy vibe neighbor. Already mentioned that. Now this is the base. The base. Nev Campbell confirmed that Scream 7 will go back to its roots and focus on Sidney Prescott. The film may follow a similar concept to Halloween 2018. The story will focus on legacy characters, Sidney, Gale, etc. Scream 8 is already planned. This is the first chapter in a planned new trilogy. So take all of this to note. Because, obviously, some of these leaks that we may be getting, they may be true, but they may not be true for Scream 7. There has been countless times before, especially in Infinity War and Endgame type things, where, when Infinity War was filming, I remember it got leaked that Iron Man will die. But people thought it was for Infinity War, but he did not die in Infinity War, but he died in Endgame. So, things can get leaked for playing films, and if they're already planning a Scream 8 and a full-on trilogy, and even one report said a long time story, which could be more than just one trilogy, some leaks may be for different movies. So Stu, he will play a big part. Obviously, he is already confirmed. They confirmed that he's coming back. He could just be a flashback in AI technology. But he could be revealed to be the guy that's been controlling this new trilogy. Maybe the killers and the Ghostface cult is true. Maybe we get that in the second film. Maybe at the end of the first film. Maybe right at the beginning. But maybe the Ghostface cult is true, and we get that he was the one controlling it the entire time in the last film. Now, people may be upset about that, and I will get that. Because obviously you only get a little bit of Stu at the end. That's confirmed. And it'll be at the last movie, which is number 9. But maybe they could do like a difference where we actually kind of see Stu controlling it, but the characters don't know. So maybe his minions could be a surprise for us, but we know Stu's controlling it since the 7th movie, and maybe we'll see him doing stuff. Maybe we'll get a flashback on how he survived, how it happens, because obviously if the police went in the house and they saw a body missing, they're gonna go look for it. And obviously if he was in a mental hospital, we probably would know it by now, and Sydney would probably know it unless they hid it. Or if he was in a jail, obviously you just can't fake his death. I don't know, maybe he did fake his death and managed to escape somehow. I don't know how that would be possible, unless he just kind of, I don't know, maybe there's a way that they could do it. I don't know. I'm not the writer, but I'm really curious to see how they go through with that. I want Stu to be alive, and I believe he could still be alive if you go through the concept. Now I want to go over Roman Bridger. Roman Bridger could definitely be alive, because people say, that, yeah, he got shot in the head, yeah, but do you remember what Randy said with the video of Randy in the 3rd movie, where he said the 3rd killer is basically invincible? He literally said that you have to freeze their head off. That did not happen. He even said that shooting him in the head won't work. So the rules still apply to Roman. Roman could definitely be alive. Yeah, he got shot in the head, but Randy's rules for the 3rd movie and the 3rd killer, those could definitely be true. Now, Stu, too, did not get shot in the head, so he could come back. I don't know about Jill, though, because she got shot in the head. I don't know how they'll do that. Maybe I'll go over the rules of Scream in a different video. I'm already planning to do one, because right now I'm watching all the Halloween movies, so I'm planning to do a video where, I see how the Scream 7 can relate to Halloween 2018. So look out for the video with my review on all the Halloween movies, and also my review on how Scream 7 can be with Halloween 2018. But anyways, Scream 7 will be scarier than the other Scream movies. This film will be heavily connected to Scream 5 and 4, would not be heavily connected to Scream 5 and 4, but will be a true sequel to Scream 1 through 4. But it will not retcon Scream 5 and 6. Those events will remain canon, just won't be the main focus. And Sidney and Gale will acknowledge the New York City attacks from Scream 6. So this is going to be scarier than any other Scream movie. And this has been confirmed by the guy that plays Chad Meeks, which I always forget his name, so I really apologize. Which I'm really interested to see that. There will be references to Sam and Tara. Also, Scream 7 will explore family themes. Motherhood and family will be a major themes. The film has 70 to 30 split between Sydney and Gail, with Gail taking the central role. And I know I mentioned a lot of this stuff, but just bear with me. We're going to get into the plot, and I'll expand on that. Flashbacks and deepfake technology will be used, possibly dealing with past killers or just characters in general. The film will feature a big time jump, allowing Sydney and her kids to play a role. The film is not a passing of the torch film, but instead setting up a new long-term story for Sydney and Gail. So take all these into account as I read the plot if all this information is true. And I try to put all this in an order that would make sense. So let me get into it. So anyways, the opening will feature 2 or 3 victims. But we also had a rumored scene where the film will open with Maureen Prescott's murder. So how would that work? Well, if it's two or 3 victims, maybe we get the behind the scenes of Casey's death, because there has been a rumor that the actress that played Casey will come back, and the actor that played Steve. So that will be 2 and 3 victims. And some may say, well, we already saw Casey and Steve, but we didn't see from the Ghostface perspective. You know what I mean? Maybe we'll get, who actually did it. If it was Steve, not Steve, why I say Steve, if it was Billy or Stu, which ones killed which, and how all that went down. So... And we also got this leak that the opening scene will be very personal to Sydney and will bring her back into the conflict. So, now I'm wondering how this could open with a Now I'm wondering how this could open and with a because if it is a flashback, I'm wondering how this could work with the flashback, because Sydney will not see it. Or if it is Casey and Steve, which is what I'm going with. If it was, we're gonna go Maureen Prescott, and we're gonna get a new visual of Casey and Steve. We're gonna get finally see what happened with Sydney's mom and get new visuals of that. But the opening scene will be very personal to Sydney and will bring her back into conflict. So I'm not sure about that. We also had a report that said that we will get new information on Maureen Prescott's death, a new thing. And we got rumors that Stu's sister will be in the film. So maybe Stu's sister was involved with that. And maybe she's the one that helped Roman in Scream 3. There's a lot of rumors about that. People have made those theories before. And obviously we know Stu did have a sister, because in Scream 5, I forgot their names. I apologize, I'm really bad with names. The guy that played Hugh Campbell and the actors that recently won an Oscar. Both of them, they killed Stu's nephew. And it was revealed that Stu has a sister. So, that could be possibly true. Why did she step back? I don't know. But, I'm just rolling with that. So, the new detail is that there was a 4th killer in the original scene. We're going to see the original scene. It's going to be very personal to Sydney. Maybe it's like a flashback. Or maybe there's photos that get leaked about her mom's death. That would be pretty tragic. If we see like an opening scene where we go to Maureen Prescott, we go to Casey, and we go to Steve, and it opens with like a flashback, or maybe the killer's putting up photos of her mom's death. That would be something. Or maybe it's not even them, and maybe we just get a flashback in the middle of the film of it happening. But I'm gonna go with the opening. And maybe we see what's his face? And maybe we see Cotton Weary in the film too. If we see Roman, Billy, and Stu, obviously Cotton Weary had something to do with that, so maybe we see that. And we got the leak that Roman Bridger is still dead, but his return will make sense and without suspicion of disbelief. So this would make a lot of sense. So this is the opening scene. Maureen Prescott gets killed. We see a new angle of Stephen Casey's death. And Cotton Weary, Roman, Billy, Stu, Maureen Prescott, Casey, and Steve, all of them are shown in there. So it's a flashback with the opening. And it's very personal to Sydney. Maybe it is like a little dream sequence. That would make sense. We saw it in the first movie, obviously. Anyway, Sydney has moved on with her life running a coffee shop, but her past comes back to haunt her. A scene is rumored to be filmed in a bar/snack bar, possibly featuring Mason Gooding, who played Chad Meeks. Now, we did get a rumor that now, I am curious because, Chad and Mindy Meeks were in New York City, and their mom, lives in, Woodsboro. But the film takes place in Pine Grove, Indiana. So I'm really wondering how they're going to connect these characters. And some people say, well, maybe the opening scene is Chad and Mindy's death, saying that, it's a new thing. But no, I don't think so. Because the Mason Gooding said in an interview that he got to film a lot of scenes with Neve Campbell, and he's really happy about it. So, and that he was actually happy to make it into like the third act or fourth act. He says something like that because he always gets out of it before the fourth act. So he's definitely surviving. Okay, he's not dying. He is not dying. He actually gets to film scenes with Neve Campbell. So, yeah. But there's rumors suggest that a scene involves him being attacked down thrown stairwell and, hit by a taxi, but he survives. That's something that's very likely. Now, we'll go into a bit of Gil Weathers. We got news that Gil may accidentally cause a Ghostface murder. But let me go into this. And her morning show gets canceled. So I think that's what happens. She accidentally caused a Ghostface murder, investigating it, and her morning show gets canceled. So she goes to find Sydney. And they will be in the film, but they won't be a main focus. She said that. Sydney's kids will be in the film, but they won't be a main focus. And Sydney's not very popular around town, and people don't want her around. And Sydney will be called the Angel of Death again. And Lisa Grossman will play Sydney's next door Karen-like neighbor. The movie will introduce a stage director and drama students working on a play connected to Scream 4. McKenna Grace, her character would be the lead in the school play, which McKenna Grace is playing Sydney's daughter, Tatum Evans. Sydney's daughter, Tatum, has a boyfriend named Ben and two female friends. So all of them are with this play, which is a lot like Scream 2. Obviously Sydney was in a play in Scream 2, so that's a lot like Scream 2 there. Sydney is very protective and does not allow Tatum to sneak out, but she does anyways, which is a lot like Billy and Trevor in Scream 4. Ben, I'm sorry, there's a scene that's rumored where Ben will sneak through Tatum's window, which is a lot like Billy and Trevor from Scream 1 and 4. Stu will FaceTime Sydney, but is revealed to be fake, and Mark reports it to the police. A mental patient may escape from the hospital and stalk Sydney, potentially linked to a Ghostface cult. And let me going back to Gail. So Gail's morning show gets canceled, so she comes to go to Sydney, maybe because there's Ghostface killers. Maybe we see Chad and Mindy in New York, right? And Gail Weathers, and maybe Ghostface is there in New York. We think, and she's over there in New York. She accidentally causes a Ghostface murder, or maybe she accidentally causes Chad's fate, and maybe people think he's dead, but it is revealed he's not dead. You know, because obviously. I don't know if they're still going with it, but in the Scream 5 through 6, he was supposed to be kind of like the Dewey who dies and comes back. But anyways, so let's say Gail, you know, she comes to find Sydney, because there's a rumored scene where Gail hits the mental patient, with her car in front of Sydney's house. So, yeah, that's something. Mark Evans, Sydney's husband, may return to find a dead body at home. This would make so much sense. Maybe Gail was embarrassed to go inside or something. Or maybe it is a Ghostface killer. But I don't know why the dead body will be at home unless they just killed some random person and put the body at home. And it says forcing their kids to go into hiding. But I don't know what it would be unless it was a family member. But then maybe that's the opening scene? And he comes in there, but I don't think they would kill the daughter off that fast. Obviously, Tatum Evans is not going to die that fast because we've seen a lot of behind the scenes with McKenna Grace. And Scream 7 will have more than 3 killers. It will have a Ghostface cult. And it will be the darkest, most disturbing Ghostface yet. Aims to match the intensity of Drew Barrymore's opening scene from the original. Stu Macher's return is significant. Not just a cameo, but his role will be major. Remember that. Some speculate they are reviewing the original Scream 3 script where Stu was alive and controlling a cult from prison/mental care. Except now it might be Roman or Roman's twin. But I'm not going to do Roman or Roman's twin. Not unless they said Roman's dead. So maybe Scott Foley is playing Roman's twin. And maybe it's going to be like a Roman's twin is Stu's sister. Because Stu's older sister is still alive. And could she be the next Ghostface? It's very possible. Anna Camp might be playing Lisa Macher, Stu's sister. I mean, that's kind of the build of a Macher. Mocker. Sorry. I don't know why I'm saying Macher. It's Mocker. That just came to mind. The film may include a Ghostface cult, and I really hope it does, because it's so likely, and I really hope it does. And AI and deepfake technology will play a major role, with killers using it to create fake versions of past killers, which that will be so cool. Which maybe that's why Dewey's back. That will be insane if it's anything. Ghostface will manipulate Sydney and Gail by bringing back past characters. That was actually rumored before the AI, might I say. A car chase scene involving Sydney. I can't wait, because I want something new in the Scream franchise, and a car chase scene will be the best thing ever. It will be so new and so awesome. One rumored kill involves someone being strangled with their own intestines. That will be so intense. A scene with Ghostface attacking between 2 houses, toying with the victims. That also sounds really cool. McKenna Grace might have the most brutal death. Now, McKenna Grace having the most brutal death in Scream 7. Could she be the one that's strangled by their own intestines? Which, I have a question. If your own intestines are out of your body, wouldn't you basically already be dead by then? And remember, now, there was a rumor that the film would take place in Seattle. Obviously, that's not the case. But remember, Scream 8 is planned, and like I said, the Scream 8 could take place in Seattle. Maybe they move to Seattle trying to escape Ghostface. And that's where Scream 8 brings them. Now, this is the plot that kind of makes sense with all the details we have so far. So I hope this kind of made sense to you. I know sometimes that can be hard to understand, but I hope I put it simple enough where it's kind of understanding. But anyways, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.